Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Divine Love Talk, where we talk about all things life, love, and spirit. We're going to get into today's full moon message because we did have the full moon in Leo this morning. Today is Wednesday, February 12th. It is a 3-day, a day of celebration, a day of working towards our stability. In this fire sign, right? Because Leo is a fire sign. The collective is strongly encouraged to do that thing that scares you the most because that's where your happiness lies. That's where your peace lies. That's where all the things that you've been searching for that you feel will make you whole lies. But it requires you to take that leap of faith. But in order for you to take that leap of faith, you had to get rid of all the baggage. Between August and now, it was revealed to you all of the different things that you are required to let go of in order for you to have that happily ever after. You're being asked at this very moment to have the courage to let go of that very thing that you've been holding on to for forever. Your happiness, your new life is on the other side of you releasing and letting that thing go. We're going to get into the message. Today is, again, Wednesday, February 12th. Just 2 days before Valentine's Day, we'll do about 3 readings for anybody who needs a personal reading. We have 3 spaces available for Patreon paid subscribers who are on the exclusive or higher tier, or anyone who signs up using the link in the bio. Hello, my lovely moderators. Hello, my OGs. They're on deck, keeping the chat a safe and sacred space. So if you have any general questions or you want to share any thoughts, feelings that you're having during the channeling, feel free to put it in the chat. I will get to your comments once I'm done pulling the message for this lovely, 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 lovely full moon in Leo. If you've been made to sit down over the past 2 weeks, maybe your menstrual cycle was weird. This cycle, or maybe even last cycle, or maybe the last 3 cycles, is all in conjunction of preparing you for what's to come. Do not forget, we have these 2 very powerful eclipses coming up in March, right? Right after the eclipses we had at the end of September and the beginning of October, and all of the drama that it brought, right? Get ready for round 2. Fight, right? Let go and just surrender to whatever pops up. But most importantly, above all things, trust. Trust your intuition and let that be your guiding light. That being said, Holy Spirit, this full moon in Leo on this Wednesday, and here in New York, it's a chilly day, right? What is this full moon bringing, right? Full moons are a time of cycles ending for new cycles to begin. All right. This is the energy. 2 cards wanted to come out, right? For the energy of today's full moon, what this cycle is ending, what this cycle is beginning, and the outcome, right? The overall energy of this full moon is that 3 of baskets, that 3 of cups, getting ready to feel. It feels like to celebrate, right? In the way she's holding that wine glass, getting ready to celebrate your accomplishments, getting ready to celebrate and reap the rewards, right? The benefits, right? Of everything, all the hard work you've been putting in. We'll get the clarifiers after the main message. The current energy right now, 3 of coins, right? Which is the 3 of pentacles, but in this energetic position, it's feeling like making that vision clear, making that vision plain, because These next few weeks are about removing all obstacles and barriers that prevent that vision from manifesting into your reality. Three of Coins, Three of Pentacles, Taurus season, right? After the eclipses, we're looking at end of April, beginning of May. A lot of you will see things in your life drastically change for the better with this World card. Spirit has been encouraging the collective for quite some time now to make sure we guys are all clear about what it is that we want. What is your deepest heart's desire at this time, right? No matter how big or small or how crazy others may have you to believe your dreams are, they're not crazy at all and very, very, very much possible. The collective has been encouraged to think big because your dreams are being supersized and everything is going according to plan if you trust your intuition, if you follow the signs, if you've been paying attention. The cycle that's coming to an end, being unafraid to take that leap of faith with the Fool card. Ooh, a lot of you, this is the moment where you get your wings, right? You've been so afraid to take that leap because you don't know how you are going to be supported. But once you take that leap, the angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors will swoop in and protect you. They will carry you to your next destination, not your final destination. Well, for some of you, that is your next destination. Let's be for real, right? But either way, wherever you go, you are going next. The angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors are fully being supportive of you. What is being ended, or what spirit is trying to end when it comes to you, is that fear. Let it go. Work through it and then let it go. What cycle is beginning for the collective? And I wanted to say believing, right? This is a cycle of believing in the endless possibilities that can come your way, but most importantly, believing in you with these 10 of knives. Now, when we see the 10 of swords in traditional tarot, it has a different meaning altogether. But energetically speaking, this is a card of movement, right? And if we want to get super specific into the yoga position, we could say she moved from tree pose into this pose. And tree pose is about, right, grounding, right? Representing, showing the world just how strong you are, just how capable you are. This is the season that's beginning. You might think, your brain, your ego, your friends, your family even might trick you into thinking that something is going to be too hard or too difficult or impossible, and any other negative Nancy or negative Norman sentence that you could come up with. But then you must decide for you what's best for you. There's nothing impossible. There's nothing that you can't do. You can talk yourself out of these things. You can listen to other people's opinions and let it dictate which direction you go. But your guides are really trying to put you, the angels are really trying to put you in a position where you stand in your truth and you stand firm like that tree, right? The outcome for this lunation, right? That Two of Baskets, which is the Two of Cups, right? Coming into union, but also coming into balance. See how they complement, how they're opposites, but yet complementary? Another nod to flexibility, being flexible to how not only love shows up in this next lunar cycle, right, between now and that lunar eclipse on March 13th, right, which has been highlighted on the live as I giggle, right? Everything that's revealed to you, surrender and just go with it. Your happiness, your wish fulfillment is on the other side of that. Let's get some clarification, right? Because, We love a good clarification. Holy Spirit, what else does the collective need to know about what's coming for them? Or what needs to be known with this full moon? Well, that fell on the floor. We're not taking that. And we'll take those, right? Because it's 2 here, 2 there. Anything else? I wanted to knock off the whole deck. All right. Clarifying the current energy, we have House and Thief, right? If you don't make that vision clear, if you don't make that vision plain, write it down and make it plain. You are literally robbing yourself of having your dreams manifest into your reality. If you let doubt, fear, other people's opinions cloud your judgment, you are robbing yourself of that happily ever after. Let your thoughts be your own. It's good. To hear people out, right? To take advice, if you will, but you have to use your spirit of discernment to see which advice is here to serve you and which advice is being given to deter you or put you on a detour from manifesting your dreams into your reality. That 2 of baskets, the 2 of cups coming into partnership, right? Being clarified by occupation, judgment, and message of concern. If you're worried about things that haven't happened, just know that they haven't happened yet. Clearly, a lot still needed to be done before wish fulfillment could come in on any level, which includes your love life. A lot of you haven't met the one yet because you weren't ready. You had work to do on yourself. You had healing work to do on yourself before, they could align you with your complementary, equally yoked purpose partner, kingdom spouse, twin flame, soulmate, whatever you want to call it. The person that fits you on every single level. It could be that simple. If you decide, right, when it comes to releasing, because that's what full moons do, right? It's the energy of releasing. If you flow, right, with your own intuition, you surrender to what your guides are showing you, what your angel team is showing you. You can hear people out, right? See what pops up on your FYP, sit with it a while, but allow yourself to finally, really and truly be the captain of your own ship. You always have been, but you kind of got tricked into thinking other people knew what was best for you, my darling. You know what's best for you. You may not realize it, but you've always known what's best for you. Start showing up that way. Please and thank you. Anything else that the collective needs to know, especially about their person, right? About love. Anything else that needs to be known? This deck is very slippery. Anything else? Oh, that flipped right on out. Anything else? Well, I know some of you don't want to hear it, right? But especially for a group of you guys who took over the collective readings that were posted for the past 4 or 5 days, right? You do have somebody that is returning to you that wants a second chance, right? A second opportunity. And for some of you, this is the 3rd, 4th, 5th. They've had many chances before, right? But this time, it is different. Something in my right ear just started to ring. Something happened between the last pair of eclipses that really I don't want to say it, but it forced people to be real with themselves. A lot of times when people ghost, right, or they show up in relationships in less savory ways, right, they don't make for good partners or friends. That's because they're lacking that inner balance within, right? They're lacking that self-love, right? Due to many things, right? Relationships that they passed in their past, from their past, hurts that they never dealt with, childhood wounds that they never dealt with. Those feelings and then of inadequacy. So they felt if they committed to nobody and dated everybody, nobody can hold them accountable for their shortcomings. But when we had those eclipses, especially that one in the beginning of October, right? Because it was in the sign of Libra, and Libra deals with relationships, right? It deals with balance. A lot of people were forced to go within and do the work. A lot of people, it was made painfully clear that the reason that life has shown up for them in this way is because these are all the things they've been doing wrong. A lot of people have come into the realization that you, especially my higher echelon spiritual folks, were specifically sent to them to help them through this aha moment, to release the things that were holding them back from being the person they're meant to be, to stop showing up wearing this mask of being a city girl or a playboy. That life is no longer fun for them. So this sorry, right, whether you're forgiving this person for the first time or the umpteenth time, this sorry comes from a different place. They're letting go, moving on, and walking away from their own red flags, from their own negativity, from their own poor self-concept. A lot of folks are realizing they attracted these people and situations into their lives because they have a very shitty view of themselves. And then they projected that into the world and accidentally hurt you. It wasn't intentional. The energies that I'm picking up now, this is not a savage who goes about breaking hearts and manipulating minds. That's from a song. This is not someone who goes around breaking hearts and manipulating minds just because. It's a subconscious behavior that they picked up along the way to protect themselves from facing their own ish. Period. A lot of you during your personal readings, it came up not to take any of their antics personal because they weren't against you. They weren't doing this to you. This is how they act with everybody. This is their response to their heart being triggered. You just so happen to trigger it in the biggest possible way. So when they come through with their confessions, again, you're being advised. Some of you have some choice words to say to this person. You're going to want to tell them all about themselves and their mama. And it's going to feel good in the moment. And then after you think about it, you're going to realize how unnecessary that was. Hear this person out. Use it as an opportunity. Use that moment of confession as an opportunity to finally clear the ends. Clear the air and allow them to make amends. You owe that to yourself, not to them, to you. So regardless of whether or not you take this person back, you know in your heart you at least heard them out and you know exactly why the situation ended the way that it did. A lot of you, again, you have this person who's released themselves of their own negativity and everything associated with that over the past 4 to 6 months, right? They really dug in and did the work. Dug in, right? this person is sincere. Even if they apologized a million times before, this time it's coming from a very different place. This time they want to be that loyal, committed partner that you can trust. And they are willing to put in all the work to show you that they did the work. They're not that same person you walked away from or that walked away from you. The choice is yours. You have a big, beautiful future, one way or another, with the love of your heart that you desire. But it requires you to free your heart, like we were told yesterday. Free your heart of any hurts, disappointment, anger, bitterness, or sadness that you've picked up along the way from previous relationships. When your heart is clear and free, and you're happy and whole with self, and you've been pampering yourself and inundating yourself and showering yourself with unconditional love, that's when true love shows up for you. When what's his face or what's her face comes back saying that they're sorry, don't dismiss it. That might be your first thought, and if that's your first thought, that is a clear indication that you still have a lot of deep healing to do. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a thing, right? It's just your spirit guides pointing out to you that, you got work to do. We've all got work to do. The journey is about healing and growing and becoming. It's a continuous process. Nobody's ever becomed. If you know somebody that has becomed, period, heart stop, nothing more, and is still alive, let me know. I want to know what that life is about. We're forever growing and changing and expanding. Well, that's another reason why there's going to be huge shifts and leaps when it comes to your love life and your finances. Jupiter is direct, right? Fixed signs, fire signs. There's been heavy emphasis on you guys today as well, with sudden changes. Whatever woe is me, sad energy that's trying to creep in, send that energy about its way. If you've been feeling unnecessarily sad, like you don't know why all of a sudden you got the Monday blues on a Wednesday night, surrounded by people, right? That's a telltale sign that things are about to get really, 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 really good for you. And that's the enemy's last attempt to get you off your path, get you into the, oh my God, the energy of not believing in yourself, not believing in your own magic. You're going to hear about this, that, and the third in the news, right? You're going to hear about things that are meant to incite the masses into fear and anxiety, right? Be in the world, but not of it. Hear these things, but also take it with a grain of salt. You will intuitively know what to do. You will intuitively know how to move, but that requires you to pay attention to your intuition and to have an open heart. Whatever hurt, and this is a repeat from yesterday's message, whatever hurt, whatever anger, whatever disappointment, whatever bitterness you've been holding on to, let it go. And some of you feel like, oh yeah, I've let it go. And then something happens and you're right back in that space. That's supposed to happen. Healing isn't linear. It isn't one straight line. You just don't go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Sometimes you go from 1 to 6 to 4 to 8 to 5 to 9 to 10 to 1. And that's a part of the journey. Because in those different spaces of moving forward and moving backwards, you're learning, you're growing, you're becoming. You're picking up the emotional, spiritual tools that you need to become the person you're meant to be in this lifetime. It's all a part of the plan. So don't beat yourself up too much about any mistakes that you have made. Those mistakes were very, very necessary to your journey. They would not have been allowed to happen if they weren't. Some of you still regret things you did in junior high school. Let that go with today's full moon. Let this moment, right, be the last moment of holding on to any negative energy, period. And this might require some of you to go deep, real deep. And you'll realize that you suck at relationships because you're still angry that Sally didn't go to prom with you, which was 20 years ago, by the way. Let it go. Let it go. Do what you need to do in the most healthiest way possible, right? Get into therapy. Get a counselor. Get a spiritual advisor. Get all three. Phone a friend who can objectively, right, listen without judgment and provide objective feedback, not feedback based on what they experienced and how they view the world, but it could actually meet you where you're at and help you get to where you want to go. That is the message for the collective on this lovely, lovely Wednesday. Let's see what you guys are chit-chatting about in the live. Quinasia, you just happen to be the first name I see. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Marty. Nicole. Hello, hello, hello. Jackie. Oh. Hey, hello, hello, hello. How are you? Toots Magoots, one of my faves. How are you? How are you? How are you? R. Nassar, hello. How are you? And welcome, right? To this lovely, lovely, lovely full moon message. Aunt Mary, hello. Carolyn, thank you guys for the new follows. Thank you for the likes. It keeps us, not only does it keep us relevant in the algorithm, but it lets you guys know, it lets TikTok know that this is the real Etta, right? There's a lot of duplicate pages. Please, 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 please do not get scammed. I will never reach out to you first. I eventually respond, but I will never reach out to you first. Luxy Bear, how are you? V, how are you? I thought it was just my cycle that started early. People have been reporting getting longer cycles. A lot of folks had double cycles in or 2 cycles in January, right? And had their February cycle or are having their February cycle as normal as part of the cleansing and resetting process. Figure it fit. You're the one with the Monday blues on a Wednesday. Sending you lots of love and light and hugs and a snack. A good snack cures the blues. Hi, Orchid. How are you? Jessica. How are you? How are you? How are you? Blaze. I'll hear them out, but taking someone back? Absolutely not. And I feel you on that. I feel you on that. 7 degrees Celsius. That feels cold. Boogie, I am trying to keep a straight face. So, yes, sir. What would I do without you? This might be my ex because of him confessing to my pastor. The worst feeling in the world is knowing that you almost had it all and you fumbled it. The way your gut twists, you lose breath, your whole world shatters instantly, like the answer to my prayers was here all along. And in that moment when they take accountability, oh my goodness, it's absolutely the worst feeling in the world, but it's unnecessary. They have to. That's for them. That's what rock bottom feels like, and that's where they have to hit for the healing to start, right? Hey, Blue Rose, how are you? Morty. Elizabeth with the sunflowers, how are you? Blaze, you are too cute. It's me, Breezy Bays. Hello, hello, hello. That makes for the 3rd Breezy. Ow. Tasha, that was the collective. We have space for about 3 readings. What time is it? What time is it? Let me get the other phone. 2:35. So we're on. We got about like 20, 30 minutes left to the live. So if you have any general questions, right, now is a good time to ask. New Heart, hello, hello, hello. And the regular readings are on sale for Valentine's Day. 25% off. Stephanie, the way you were on my mind, I want to say Saturday night. It's like I haven't seen Stephanie in a long, long time. Did she get mixed up in the TikTok shuffle? Because, a lot of people aren't on the live because they deleted their TikTok. But I don't think that's the case with you. How have you been, my love? Loca? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Isolt Beauty, thank you. Honeybee, all the way on the top. How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? Daisy, how are you? You went into hermit mode. That's a good place to be. That's where the healing and the real magic happens, right? How do you feel back to be back with us commoners? Anybody who would like a personal readings on the live are for Patreon subscribers who are subscribed to the Patreon exclusive tier and up, or you can sign up for one using the link in the bio. Then it used to be for subscribers to the live, but since we can't resubscribe to anybody's live here in the United States, that is because we still don't have access to the App Store. Soul Tribe OGs, if there's any questions, because I know some of you, are kind of like tiptoeing with the idea of becoming professional content creators. So if you have any questions that you want me to ask on your behalf at tonight's meeting, let me know. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. I'm still on cloud 9 from the other day. Good. I'm doing good, relaxing. We back to chilly weather. What's the temperature like on your side of town, honeybee? Daisy, I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I have to write down my question for our next call next week before I forget. Please do. Please do. I suspect, right? And we got a little taste of this while channeling yesterday, right? There's something about the 13th that's going to be not just our next full moon, right? Which is going to be, right. So another thing that hadn't been mentioned about that full moon that's coming up next month, right? It's in Virgo. It's going to be the lunar eclipse. And then 2 weeks later, at the end of March, we're going to have the solar eclipse. So we have the lunar eclipse, the spring equinox, the solar eclipse, Venus going retrograde. March is going to be very March Madness astrological edition. It's going to be crazy. But going back to this Virgo energy, there's been heavy emphasis about what was going on in September and October, and emphasis on the eclipses that happened then. But what were your intentions during the Virgo new moon back in September? Right? Last September? If you guys had gotten the astrology planner, right, you would have been able to go back and, see what you wrote down for your intentions. This is another reason why I wanted everybody to get the planner, so you can kind of like journal and have this guide that you can refer back to, especially when working with the moon energy. Whatever you set your intention on during a new moon, you're supposed to see the results by the corresponding full moon, which is usually 6 months apart. So really try to think back where you were in September, right, during that Virgo new moon, right? It doesn't have to be exactly on the date because rarely are things exactly, right? Think about what was going on around that time. What were your intentions? What were you desiring, right? Not just in love, but whatever intentions you had, you're supposed to see, well, it should be answered. You should receive some type of response by the full moon in March. Just like today's full moon corresponds with the new moon that we had on August 4th in Leo, right? But that new moon, I believe it was on, I just said it, August 4th, right? Was smack dead of the energy of the Lionsgate portal, right? 8-8, right? And that 8-11 that keeps popping up. So what was going on around that time? What changes were made around that time? What shifted for you around that time? What was made painstakingly clear, like you couldn't deny it anymore? Because some of us in our delulu, accidentally on purpose keep ourselves trapped in these cycles, right? But even in the delulu, it was made clear to you about something. What is that something? It comes to an end now, right? With that tower moment that came out in one of the readings we posted before. When you start journaling, right, and writing little things down in your planner and making note of things, you will start to make the connections. You will start to see that nothing is coincidental or on accident, and everything typically aligns with the full moon or the new moon, give or take a few days. Why do you think most holidays for most major religions, right? So we're talking about Catholicism, Islam, right? Judaism, right? All of their major holidays are on or around, very near, within 3 days of the new moon or full moon. It's not by accident. We've been using the moon to help guide us, and the sun and the planets, right? Because, we've been using this since the beginning of time. The planners are still available. I don't think maybe all of the colors are still available. But they're super helpful. They're super helpful. And the fact that they're built so durable, this is vegan leather, right? You can store these like you store your regular books, and they could be with you for forever. So you can journal and write about everything that, needs to be written about. So when you look back on it, right? Look back at it. You can see what you wrote down. Unless you tear out the pages, because some of these pages can be torn out because, some of us like to burn things, especially during a fire moon. But yeah, these are really, really great. And the link is in the, you know where. You know where. Any other questions, thoughts, feelings that you want to share? Does the universe or ancestors have rules? Yes and no, right? Everything has rules because without rules, you have no order. But a lot of those rules are flexible, right? You remember those if-then statements in, what kind of math is that? I don't remember. In high school, right? If A, then B, and and the different variables that you could come with. The universe and ancestors have those type of rules, right? They're not hard. Well, some of them are hard and fast rules, right? Like the 10 Commandments. But the rules have flexibility built within them. In short, that's the short version of that answer. Miss Nicole, it's okay. You're always on time. Always, 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 always on time. Same thing now, but I feel like it's going to be happening soon. Probably. You should see how beautiful the moon is. It's beautiful. It's outside early. Can you take a picture? Right? Because the moon, the view of the moon from Cape Town, South Africa needs to be documented somewhere, right? Please and thank you. Please and thank you if you can, right? It doesn't have to be like National Geographic perfect, but long as it's coming from you, I would love to have a picture from your vantage point. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. How can I find them? How can you find the rules? That's a tricky question, Jessica, for real. Because if you're like me, you might find comfort in having everything listed down, right? Chapter 1, what to do, and then tell me, show me, tell me, right? But in that aspect, a lot of those rules, like the Catholic Bible, have been tampered with to fit man's agenda. It's been watered down, remixed, and shifted so many times that it's best to get the rules from your ancestors and guides, right? I can go online and learn how to play basketball, right? I can YouTube it and learn how to play basketball. But my best bet is to get with a coach. Make it more, another way of saying it, I can go on YouTube to learn how to sing, right? And there's a lot of education, and showing me pitch and tempo and what A minor sounds like, right? But for something like that, it's best done with a coach, right? That can show you what pitch is, right? What timbre is, right? What melody is, how to read sheet music. Same thing with spiritual law. There are universal laws that we know and understand intuitively, but especially when it comes to walking, like if you walk with the Mysterios, you work with the law, you walk with the Orishas, that's another set of laws that is best learned from your ancestors. And maybe we both walk with the loi, right? And I can say, well, mine said ba 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 ba. And you could be like, no, but mine said the total opposite. Rely more on what the information you are given, right, with specific guidance and rules and regulations when it comes to the walk that you walk, rather than your brothers and sisters who say they walk the same walk. Because a lot of folks, right, say they walk with a certain group, right, and it goes with the Orishas or the Loa or, other deities that people follow, and they're like, oh, we all follow, what's her name, Hecate, right? Some of them do. Some of them think they are, and they are giving misinformation by D words. So it's very, very, very important that you, and this is why, another reason why, continuously it comes out. Trust your intuition, follow your intuition, listen to your spirit guides, trust your ancestors, because that's where you're going to get the purest, uncut information from. Sometimes you think something looks uncut, somebody looks like they have really solid information, and they're selling baking powder. For those who know, you know. When it comes to the mentoring or even going to counseling, right? It's important to align with somebody who shares similar values, right? Who's not going to tell you this is this and that is that, right? Some people thrive with learning from, okay, tell me exactly what I need to do. But on the spiritual path, on the path of becoming, you got to figure it out. You just need a safe space and safe people that help you figure it out. It's not about giving the instructions on how to live life. It's co-creating the outcome that you want. Keep that in mind, even when it comes to your therapist, because finding a good therapist is like finding the perfect bra. I don't know, right? It's challenging because a lot of them have lost touch with their humanism. A lot of them have lost touch with why they got started wanting to help people, specifically in the mental health department. Doctors too, right? Because, we were sold the dream a long time ago, right? For folks, my 80s and half of the 90s babies, right? We're sold the dream of you go to school, you go to college, you pay, for college, you get these scholarships, you get these student loans, and you put yourself in debt before you make your first dollar to have that doctorate, to have that big paying job. What they don't tell you is that, is it worth it? The stress and the years of education and everything you're put through mentally and physically to only make but such amount of money, right? To have that cap of how much money you can make. A lot of people, especially doctors, that first year when they're actually practicing, they regret. They regret big time. So that regret shows up in their work. They're not as good as a cardiologist as they could be if they really enjoyed the job that they were doing. Thankfully, somebody told me a long time ago, find a job that you really love doing and you will never work a day in your life again. I think more people should subscribe to that and they would be a lot more happier. COVID, the pandemic has taught a lot of people that they thrive in independent situations. They thrive as an entrepreneur, being able to do their own thing, and nobody told them that, right? At the college fairs in high school, or, the graduation fairs, and picking out this and picking out, nobody once told them that you can be anything besides a lawyer or a doctor or a rocket scientist, right? Or actuarian, right? There was a whole book of job titles that we had to choose from what we wanted to be and write about that. But nobody told us that we could be ourselves, and that would be enough. You could be yourself, and that is more than enough. It's a challenge to get out of the status quo, to get off of the hamster wheel of that 9 to 5. But you owe it to yourself to at least try it. Right? Give yourself a good 7 years of trying it. Because your first 3 years as an entrepreneur, it's all about figuring it out. All about figuring it out. That 4th, that 5th, that 6th year, life takes on a new meaning. With this full moon in Leo, right? And Leos are very proud. They can be, I should say, very boastful, right? Some might say full of themselves. Well, we'll say it. It's a good time to be full of yourself. Some of you are so magical and beautiful and have so much to offer to the world, but you're afraid of upsetting the apple cart. You're afraid of stepping out of line for fear of how people are going to judge you or talk about you. Newsflash, they talk about you anyway. Might as well allow yourself to be happy, right? Content, because you're living in your truth. It's a good time to release everything that's prevented you from living in your truth. Whether you're 19 or 99, right? As long as you have breath in your lungs, it's a good day to start. I want to shoot out rainbows. Pew, 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 pew. Like My Little Pony. That would be sweet. I tried capturing the moon, but you can't see the halo around the moon. It's yellow with a rainbow hue. Something like that appeared the night. Oh gosh, I forgot where I read this, but it's in one of the lost gospels, one of the lost books of the Bible. But that first night that after the crucifixion, right? It's a reminder when you see the moon like that, it's a reminder of the process and the promise. I'm a paralegal and discovered flexible schedules working from home. I love that. I love that. I got to start doing I ams again. You got to stick with the affirmations, got to stick with the speaking into your water, right? That includes your water pitchers, right? That you keep in the fridge if you have water pitchers. Colors or flowers you recommend for tonight's full moon? Anything that comes to mind is good enough. Lavender kept being highlighted during the channeling for the reading we posted before going live. But it's all about what your soul, your inner knowingness is guiding you to do. Because what works for Daisy may not work for Honeybee, right? Depending upon where both individuals are on their journey. The biggest theme is release and hold on. My good girl, Alina. As I thumb through. Okay, cover that part. So today's full moon, right, is the snow moon. It's about being creative, playful, and expressive, right? The energy of being you, unapologetically you, which we have been hearing about for the past 2 weeks. And no, I haven't done my new moons, my full moon stuff just yet. I'm going to do it tonight. I did write some prompts down in the Patreon post we posted on Monday, but you are always welcome to come up with prompts of your own. Time now is 2:57. We've got 3 more minutes left. Definitely the safe place part. It's important. So important. And I had a weird dream today. It was so weird. How weird was it? We are not meeting tonight. I have that meeting with you know who, so it's a scheduling conflict, but we are meeting next week, Wednesday, right? That has already been blocked out. Hi, Roberson. How are you? Minsky, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any last questions, thoughts, visions, feelings you had during the live that you would like to share with the collective? She wanted to know if Pisces was in their villain era because she can feel it. It depends on the Pisces, right? We love Pisces because they have that one foot here on earth and the other foot in the astral. The awakened Pisces is a dream. The unawakened Pisces is a nightmare. Sometimes a beautiful nightmare, but a nightmare nonetheless. When they're looking through that looking glass and made to reflect on the person that they are at this moment versus the person they're supposed to be, many people, regardless of their signs, are going to first want to lash out. They're first going to be angry at the world before they can start doing the work on themselves. And they have to get that energy out before they can truly start doing the work on themselves. So if you have a Pisces in your life, especially a March Pisces, right? Where's lovely Jazz? Somebody should warn her about these eclipses. Show them a little extra patience and care, right? All the water signs, but people who are water dominant in their charts, and show them a little extra patience and care because those aha moments may not be as easy to internalize as one would hope. As one would hope. Blue Rose, I will get back to you then. Your TM. I'm 1,000 positive. Mind is fully awake. Yo. Ew, ew, ew. I'm okay, Dorsey. I'm okay. Please, because when I have my eureka moment, I start to glitch out. Exactly. I had, where'd she go? A beautiful Pisces best friend, and she was crazy. That's why I loved her. We all need one of those on our team. We all need someone who's a little, a beautiful angel at that. A beautiful angel at that. Aw, that's sweet. All right, my loves, we're going to wrap up this edition and post it to YouTube. This is probably going to get posted before the regular episodes of Divine Love Talk, right? We're going to, if you guys have any thoughts, questions, and feelings after you do your full moon thingamajig, don't hesitate to reach out. I will take time to get back to you, but I will get back to you. If you have any questions about the new crystals and my partnership with Otter Spirit, feel free to ask, right? Because it doesn't hurt to ask questions, but I'm really, really loving this set, especially the Dream Agate. What else? Go do your full moon-ish and have an amazing day. And as always, stay blessed.